commercial was done by one of the big LA shops that had two salt shakers or a salt and pepper shaker on a kitchen countertop. And they actually squished. They were squishy. Everything before that in computer animation had been rigid, plastic. And these two actually jumped around like little Warner Brothers characters, and it was great. And I just, like, how did they do that? And it was a brand new technique called lattice deformation, where you could take any object, like a salt shaker or a toaster oven, and put it in a lattice or a box. And then rather than moving every point in the object, you only had to move the points on the box, and they would twist the object inside it. So you could take a very complex object and make it squishy. And I thought, okay, that's how I'm going to tell my stories. But I knew then that I needed characters that would be so simple that you could animate them by putting them inside a little box and then animating the little box. So that they couldn't have arms, they couldn't have legs, and because of the complexity, they couldn't have hair and they couldn't have clothes. So I bought, this is in 1991, bought my own computer animation system. I had quit my job and set up my own little company. And actually, to buy that first computer animation system, my parents took out a second mortgage on their house so that I could get that first system and get going. And started playing around with, okay, what am I going to put in the box to make it squishy? And I made a little man that looked like he was made out of Nerf, a little Nerf ball guy, and got him kind of moving, and that was kind of cute. And then I started playing around with a candy bar, and I made a little chocolate candy bar. Put kind of big goofy eyes on him, and the eyes, each eye was also in a little box. The eyes were really squishy, and that gave him his expressiveness, and then had this little candy bar bending around on the countertop. And I just gotten married, and my wife walked by our spare bedroom and saw the image on the screen and said, moms are going to be mad if you make their kids fall in love with candy bars. And I thought, good point. Okay, what wouldn't moms be mad about their kids falling in love with? And the very next thing that popped into my head was a cucumber. So I took the eyes off the candy bar, made a little cucumber, made him green, put the eyes on the cucumber, and then looked at him and thought, okay, he's kind of goofy, I think, so I'm going to give him one tooth and a big grin. And then just his expression, would just like, okay, I think I know how he would act. So I did a 12-second piece of animation that was on a tile kitchen countertop that actually looked a lot like that old TV commercial I'd seen with the salt and pepper shaker. And we pan down the countertop, and you see a bowl, a ceramic bowl, and all of a sudden this little cucumber sticks his head up over the edge of the bowl, hops up to the camera, and grins. Just pops this big, goofy, one-tooth grin. And when I played it for the first time, this little 10-second clip, I thought, he's alive. There's my character. Kids can relate to this guy. And also, I know what he'll do in different situations. If he gets stranded on a desert island, I know how he'll act. If he gets stuck in a runaway train, I know how he'll act. I can see his personality just through his face. But he was alone, and it was not good. And he was tall and skinny. So I thought, okay, he needs a sidekick who's short and round. And it's an Abbott and Costello or Laurel and Hardy thing. So I made a tomato. I thought, okay, cucumber and tomato, that's really cute. But I didn't want them, and I was thinking, what are we going to name them? What do you name these guys? Is it Kooky the cucumber and Tommy the tomato? I thought, no, that's way too cute. I don't want to do anything that cute. So I wanted really, really kind of regular names, and actually made a list on paper of what are all the really regular names we could come up with for these two guys, and settled on Bob the tomato and Larry the cucumber. The first thing I did was a 10-second clip of Larry, just to see if he would come to life and if he could engage and tell a story. And that worked great. I was hoping that would, help us fund the whole thing, but it didn't. So then I realized that we needed to do something longer. So Mike and I sat down and said, okay, we need to do like a 2-minute film to really show that we can do this. So that was, the inspiration for the first short that really launched VeggieTales.